He never was a follower. He wasn't a follower. He was gonna tell you the truth. He never had a biased opinion. No matter if you were related to him, you was his friend. He was gonna tell you when you was wrong and when you was right. That's just who he was.
That's all we want.
That's all we want. We want the truth. Transparency.
It is family.
Justice for Jabari.
Justice for Jabari.
At this time, we will try to entertain some of your questions. We could please continue to keep the family in prayer as they get ready to have this funeral. Nobody thinks about burying their child. They always think that their child will bury them. So Attorney Maxwell and Attorney Barganier and us will try to answer your questions if you have any. Attorney Maxwell, Attorney Barganier, y'all can come forward. You all have, yes ma'am.
Hey, Carol Robinson with AL.com. What is the strategy moving forward from today? What can you bring to the situation? Aaliyah hasn't budged. They don't usually budge. So where do you go from here?
Well, you continue to do what we always do. Continue to fight for justice and don't let them sweep it under the rug. We refuse to be well-behaved victims.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so we thank the activists, Harry and Black Lives Matter, Frank Matthews. We thank these activists for saying, you're not going to silence us because Jabari is going to continue to be a priority for us. And then you do what Attorney Maxwell and us are doing. You file petitions in the court to try to have judges issue rulings. You then get independent autopsies to say, well, this is what our autopsy says. If we're wrong, release your autopsy. What are you afraid of? You know, nobody should be afraid of the truth. The family, if they're willing to accept the truth, then let it out. Let it out. The other thing we're doing, talking with elected officials. I know Homewood is a city that have leaders who have interacted with the family and Attorney Maxwell, who talk about they too want transparency. They too want transparency. So how do you argue against transparency? It seems something just fundamental in America to be transparent. I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, I think that was a perfect answer. I agree. While one of the things he brings to the table, obviously, is that coalition. Aaliyah typically acts in a certain way, as you mentioned, Carol, and oftentimes they won't release these videos under pressure. But they haven't felt pressure like this. And what Attorney Crump brings to the table. We're going to be fighting the courts here in Alabama, in the courts, fighting for Jabari every single day here in the trenches. But we need someone like Attorney Crump who's going to take it to another level and let them know that transparency is the most important thing and that, as he stated, we're not going to be quiet victims.
Amen. Any other questions? Yes.
Scott Minchell with CBS 42. I know this might be a hard one to answer, but do you have any type of timeline on when you anticipate this will take weeks, months, and any idea, anything you can give us as far as how long this process will be?
That is all in Aaliyah's hands. I mean, we should hold our government officials accountable as well. Because, I mean, there's only so much Attorney Maxwell and I can do as people who are advocating for the family. But Aaliyah knows. They know what happened. They've seen the video. They've talked to the medical examiner. They know the trajectory. They know everything about the case. It's up to them to just release it. It would be something different, Attorney Maxwell and Frank, if we were asking for something extraordinary. We're asking for simple justice. simple transparency.
What we deserve.
I mean, it's what we deserve. I mean, just, you ain't asking for nothing extraordinary. You got the video. I mean, how I'll say something inappropriate. You got broken-hearted parents wanting to know what happened. Why keep that from them?
Right.
I think about E.J. Bradford.
Right.
And you know how long they had to wait to get a video release. I mean, it's so often when they kill our children, they then try to play this game of delay.
Come on. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm reminded that justice delayed won't mean justice denied.
Come on.
Never.
So we keep fighting. We keep fighting. Any other questions?
Hi, Lisa Crane with WVTM 13. I know you must get a lot of requests for help on cases. What particularly about this case got your attention?
Well, you know, the first thing, and again, I applaud Attorney Maxwell and the activists for keeping it attention. The family kept calling saying, they're trying to sweep it under the rug. My brother life mattered. They can't do this. His sister Angel, she was dogmatic and saying, no, they can't get away with this. And so what drew my attention to it was the fact that there was nothing in his history.
Come on.
Everything that Attorney Maxwell articulated, the fact that he never been convicted, never been arrested. He's a college student. He's majoring in double majors. He's doing all the right things. There's nothing in his history that would suggest that he's going to try to shoot a police officer.
Without a gun.
Right.
And so the video
Release.
would tell us if he had a gun or not.
Yeah. Tell us.
This is so unfair to the family. This is so unfair. You're talking about insult on top of injury? So unfair. And so that's, Maxwell, you want to say anything?
Any more questions?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Kim Chandler, the Associated Press. How does Alabama compare with other states where either of you have worked in giving families access to videos of police shootings?
I think I'll just answer this here. There are many more states who are far more transparent than what we've seen here in Alabama. And it's about trying to build trust with your citizens. That's what it's about. People who want to build trust with their citizens say, we want it to be transparent. We want you to see when our officers do good.
That's right.
But then we also understand that our officers are human. And when they make mistakes, we want you to see that too.
Yeah.
So we can work on them together.
Right.
That's what we're saying to Alabama. Let's try to work together. Let's don't work against one another. Yes, sir.
Just to clarify, are you asking for the release of the video to the public, to the family, to?
Well, obviously, first, everywhere I've ever been, you show the family and their representatives first. But then after that, release it to everybody.
And it's
I mean, the video is the video. It ain't gonna change. This is why I think it's hypocritical, if I could be very frank with you. Oftentimes, when police have videos of people in our community committing a crime or doing something wrong,
Say it.
they put that video out immediately. Immediately. Why is it different if the police does something wrong? That you gotta now wait. We gotta make sure we give them an opportunity to come up with a narrative, to try to justify what we're gonna see on the video.
Yeah.
No, it should be equal justice. Equal justice. And so that's what we're asking for. Everything Attorney Maxwell said in the lawsuit about, let's just follow the law as it is. Let the family see the video.
whole video.
Yeah, we know that Mr. Matthews talked about the law says the family should see the video. We all agree, and Attorney Maxwell has articulated that.
Right, yeah, that's correct. The law says the family should view the video. Obviously, there's exceptions within that law that Aaliyah is enforcing right now, but that's why we're here. With every single law, there's exceptions, and there are clever and incredible attorneys that fight for their clients to ensure the justice for their clients, no matter what those laws may say.
Any last question? Yeah.
Austin Pratt with ABC 3340. Do you know anything about, or have there been any conversations about the officer involved in the shooting?
Not that we're aware of. They haven't even released his identity yet. And so that's another part of transparency, because you want to know about the officer who killed Jabari. What's his background? Has he ever been disciplined or failed to follow policies and procedures? All of that becomes important. Because I guarantee you this, whether it's Jabari or anybody else they kill, one of the first things they do is run to try to see, has he been arrested before? Has he been convicted of a crime? Because had he been, that would have been the first thing the media saw. Why is it different when it's a police officer doing the killing? That's why we're going to continue to fight for transparency. We're going to fight for accountability, and we're going to fight for justice for Jabari. Justice for Jabari. Yeah. Justice for Jabari. Yeah. Justice for Jabari. Yeah. Thank you all so much, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we fight for justice. Thank you.
5 p.m. in front of Homewood City Hall.